Okay, we've got a little bar cart here that we're working on today.
No, you've got my bar cart you're working on today.
It's a laminate, mostly. There's some wood around the base, and then there's some plastic on those inserts on the doors. And you can see I took out the back part of the inserts because there was glass in there, and I didn't really want to monkey around with glass on all of these details to tape it off or whatever. So we pulled off the insides and pulled out the glass, and we'll decide if we're going to put those glass inserts back in. It's a pretty cool little cart, and it had some damage along one side. At the bottom, I think there was a cat that decided to use it as a scratching post, I think. And the neat thing about this cart is that it pops open. And we have been looking for a bar cart for a while before this got donated on one of my previous sales.
There was a 5-finger discount.
Of a homeowner I represented that didn't need this anymore. And I tell you, we were looking at furniture stores and these things are pretty pricey. So we decided to go ahead and repurpose this, and I am going to paint it because I'm having that purple blues again. So, and I want to keep it near the kitchen table. So we are going to, I've cleaned it with White Lightning and dried it off, done some sanding on the repairs on the bottom corner, and then we're going to hit it with a couple of coats of Slick Stick because it is laminate and shiny, and I want my paint to adhere. And then we'll be back here and show you the next step. The next step on this piece has been completed. Yesterday I went ahead and did 2 full coats of Dixie Bell's Slick Stick, which is the primer that you use on pieces that are not wood or that have a very shiny finish that you're afraid that the paint may not stick to it. Slick Stick is pretty amazing because now that we've coated it, and this was a laminate piece for the most part. There are some parts of it that are wood, but it covers hardware, metal, glass, anything. And it now allows me to put the paint on, and the paint will adhere to the piece. And within 30 days, it will be on there permanently. You can't even scratch it off at that point. So next step is the fun part. We're going to start painting. Okay, here we are, ready to do some detail work. So I got the aubergine, which is that eggplant color that is just gorgeous. I got 2 coats on it, and tell you, when you got detail like this, you kind of want to get a sprayer. This takes a lot. And I know there's a little imperfection here and there, which I'm not going to worry about because I'm going to probably cover most of this detail in my gemstone mousses. And so I've got amber, garnet, and diamond, and these are just really gorgeous metallic highlighting tools. They're nice and thick, very, just like it says, it's a mousse. So they're easy to stencil with, they're easy to do details with. They don't really, they stay where they stay put, let's just put it that way. So what I'm going to do is just start, since I'm half blind, I got to get my glasses on. I'm starting on the detail work. I've actually started on the other 3 sides, which I will show you the back side, which may be one of the few people that ever do see the back side. But the manufacturer went and finished it, so I have finished it too. So the idea is that it's a bar cart. The doors, let me put these down here, flip open. I've got this taped right now, so I don't have to clean up after myself on trying to get the lines straight, but we'll pull those off. And, you know, theoretically you could use it, you know, kind of sideways where the back is being exposed. So, you gotta think on that. But my idea right now is to put it up against the wall. It's gonna stay in the kitchen here. I'm doing these colors because I'm trying to match the dining room set or the kitchen set that we did, that you can see. I think did you post some videos on that one? Yeah, so you can see why I chose these colors. Not just because it's February and almost Mardi Gras Day, but I just really like the shine of these metallics. I mean, it's just like you're painting gold or copper or bronze right on, and they're just so smooth. They just go on like butter. They're just wonderful. I think I need an intervention. I'm using these on everything. So the idea is that we're going with some borders here to kind of relieve. I love this purple. It's very rich, but it's a little boring. So we want to jazz it up just a little bit. And the nice part about it is when you do these edges, you can kind of go pretty quick because there's a finite line to these things. And if you tape off like I did on the top, you don't have to really worry that you've got to hit a really close line. But I am using these artist brushes. I've just got a handful of them and I really do like them. They're really inexpensive. You can get them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or just about anywhere. And the art supply store, and you can get a whole giant package of them for not too much money. So I really like those. So anyway, I think you get the idea what I'm doing here with the amber. So let me switch gears and show you what I'm doing. I'm still debating exactly how I'm going to highlight the doors. And I gotta put my top on because I've knocked these puppies over more than once. Alright, so this is the garnet, which is a really pretty metallic red, crimson, pinky a little bit. And we're gonna do that around the side. Now here I don't have it taped off, so the good thing about it is these mousses are water-based. So when you're doing these detail painting, if you get it somewhere where you don't want it, it's very easy to just take a wet rag, wrap it around your finger, and just wipe it away. Get a good amount of water on it because you don't want to rub because you're going to rub the paint underneath off, and that's never a good thing. But we'll get a line going there, and we'll do that all the way around. You want to get in that crease a little bit. And I'll go back and fix things when I get to see it from more than one angle. But if I try to get too perfect right now, you just see the back of my big old head. And that's not what we're trying to do here. Let the star of the show be this piece. So like you see, a little goes a really long way. These little pots are not very big. I think there's only an ounce of paint in each one, but I've been using this forever and I barely made a dent in it. Mousses, when you get them, You do have to stir them up pretty good, and each one of them has a little different property. I haven't used the gold too much, but the gold is a lot thicker. And the other nice thing about these is that if they thicken up too much on you, you can just put a little bit of water in them. And since they're water-based, it's no biggie. And then if you find you put too much water in at any point in time, you just leave them open and they'll dry up. But that's why I like these. I like this, frankly, I think I like this better than the waxes. They've got gilding waxes, which I will show you. I haven't shown you already on a piece. But waxes are oil-based, and waxes, you don't mix oil and water, so they're kind of the last thing that you do. Whereas with this, you could still do something more over it. You can put a top coat over it. Although when these mousses dry, they don't need to be top coated. But it's almost harder because I am going to top coat the whole project. And I didn't top coat the purple before I started on these details, which I could have done. So it's more of a pain to like top coat this and then not hit this. So you just kind of top coat the whole thing. These mousses do need to dry, and you need to put them on thin. If you don't put them on thin, they may never dry. I ran into that on some hardware the first time I used this, and it just, even after several days, it was pretty slippery slidey. So that's just one thing you want to keep in mind. But in general, they do dry pretty quick. It's just that drying and curing are two different things. So that, you know, they may dry within 20 minutes or so if you put them on nice and thin, but curing, which means it's that delicate stage before they're totally hardened up, set, where you can, I don't want to say you're going to hit them with a hammer because it is paint, but they do stay in one piece. So I can't tell you a lot about how long they stay because these things are very new to the market. So we just got them, I think in December, maybe November. The end of November, I would say, we probably got a hold of these. So it's not like I've got pieces that are finished with them for a year that I can tell you good history on them. All right, so there's that. Then the other thing I know I'm doing is down on the bottom. I promised I would use all three of them today, and I am of the gemstone mousses. Ooh, I'm gonna need to get some more silver. So this is what they call the diamond, which is silver. There. And I'm gonna come on down and get this kind of half round in here. And I love the silver. This does what the others don't, which basically I can finger paint. And what I like about this is I can moosh it around, spread it out, and get this hammered metal look that I just really, it appeals to me. And you just kind of, the reason why I like this is because you've got control with your finger. You know where this stuff's going. And you can spread it out, kind of work it into the wood. And I don't know if you want to zoom in on that. And that just gives you a little bit of a different texture. And I like different textures on my pieces. And as you come around on the side, if I get myself out of the way, You can see that I've done this around here. Here's the side. And I'm gonna finish this garnet around the front. Why don't you sneak behind me and then you can take the camera. And then on the top, I did that with the garnet on top and then the amber underneath. And this is what I've been talking about, the back. And they finished it, the manufacturer did finish it, but you've got this light fixture cord, electrical cord hanging out of the back of it. So my thought is that if you ever did want to turn it so that the back is exposed, I think I'd be pulling the cord out or somewhere so it wouldn't be quite so ugly. But it gives that lighted effect inside the cabinet, which is going to be kind of cool when we get done with this. So that is where we're at the moment. I'm going to keep working on the details. I'll bring you guys back in just a little bit, and we'll talk about what we're going to do to the drawer and the doors and see if we can get this thing wrapped up.